All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a Helldivers 2 live stream. Yes, another one. There is a new major order on the table, so we're going to be getting into that a little bit today. I'll pull it up right now. Basically, what we need to do is hold these four designated planets and allow recovery teams to prove beyond reasonable doubt which of our enemies stole the Star of Peace blueprints. Yes, this is direct follow up to us firing the Star of Peace weapon on the DSS, it overheating and being taken offline, and then the commando missions following that, which was basically protecting the DSS while it's being repaired. And this is just a continuation of that. So, right now, things are not looking very good. The community is really all over the place. If you look at this, you got 31,000 on Yed prior, which is good. But then you've got 8,000 on class up, but we're actually taking that now, so that's good. But then you got another 3,000 on Adhara, which we're losing, which is really too bad because this liberation rate was at about 12%. Because between the major orders, people were diving on Adhara. So if you look at the galactic map, it's the only thing in that sector left, and if we took it, we would get that whole sector back. See, Adhara right there, and then this whole sector would be blacked out like that. It would just be part of the Super Earth Collective or whatever they call it, kind of like this. So between the major orders, people were pushing on Adhara. I was diving there too, fighting the Illuminate with the lure mines, which is hilarious. And things were progressing well. We did 12% throughout the day, but we're losing that all now. See, we're down to 4%. At least they dropped yesterday. This was at 2%, so they at least dropped that down, which is nice. Mog is going to be a little bit of a grind, but so is Klasa. So hey, we'll see. At least people seem to be a little bit more than concentrated on where we need them. Like there were a lot of bug divers going on earlier. And then I mean you still have, what's really weird to me is like 18 people here, 29 people here, 20 people here. Unless you're farming supercreds, like why is everybody so spread out? If you want to fight the bug or the illuminate, just dump on the major order planet. I guess a lot of people don't pay attention to the Galactic War. Cause like, look at this. You got 2,300 people on Fori Prime. And you got 1,000 people on Acrid 3. Another 1,300 on Grand Errant. If they all combine their forces, Borrock, same thing. But if they collectivize on Gatria, so there's another 3,000 there, they would actually be able to take that planet. I find that so strange. Like the 1,800 here on Nasir Pass. Move over to Klasa. It's very strange. Anyway, what I wanted to start with today is I was actually going to do it yesterday, but I wasn't feeling up to it, and by the time I was contemplating on just doing like a just chatting stream, I didn't end up doing it because it was pretty late. So I'm a day late on doing this, but Arrowhead decided to release a new Warbond 2 weeks after their previous Warbond, which is highly unusual. They're usually like 5 or 6 weeks apart, but here's the preview video. Here we go. I'll play it through and then I'll go through it afterwards.
Extraction is available.
Looks absolutely fantastic. Very interesting Warbond. And then we got this at the end here. What's going on here? All right, time to go through this because there's a lot in here to unpack. All right, so let's see. Extraction is available. If you notice this warhead right here, doesn't that look familiar? I'll talk about it later when they feature it later on, but you get a good view of it here. And any Helldivers 2 players out there, you should recognize this. And if not, I'll reveal it shortly. And why that might be very interesting. Alright, so to start with, that is a neat looking helmet. I like that. It might actually replace the helmet that I wear right now. Because I do like it. I'll have to see how it fits with other armor sets. Because it's gray, so it might not go with as many suits as the one I wear now. This guy's got a great... Oh no, it's the other guy's got a great cape. Alright, so apparently the armor passives on there are when you take damage, you generate stamina. So it's kind of like Dead Sprint in a way, which is going to be interesting. I wonder what the secondary passive on it's going to be. I really hope that it's going to be decent, because otherwise, it's just going to be a waste. Unless you like what the armor looks like, why would you ever wear it? I mean, there's a few sets out there that are like that, unfortunately. Yeah, reinforced epaulets and siege ready are very, very close, but I forget what the second on siege ready is, but the reinforced epaulets also gives you melee damage. So if you are wanting faster reload and melee damage, then it's not quite peak physique, but it gives you 50%, and then you still get the faster reloading primaries. So there is a little bit of difference between it. Now, unfortunately, they made the ODST armor completely irrelevant with the redacted regiment, because the ODST armor gave you the footsteps, sound reduction, and talk about a useless passive, because there's only a handful of enemies in the game that detect you by sound. It's like mortar emplacements. I want to say factory striders, gunships, and gunship towers or gunship fabricators. And there might be one more, but it's so few enemies actually detect you by sound. Which is wild, because they should make more, especially on the bugs that detect you by sound. Like the rupture strain, because they burrow underground. They should have made their like gimmick be they track your footsteps when you're underground, that they detect the tremors and pick up your movement like that. So they should have thought it through a little bit more. Um, so I really hope the armor passive is going to be good. But if we continue on here, this hammer looks very interesting. You see it's a regular hammer, and then you put the explosive charge on it. Now there has been some information released about this. I got a message from a friend this morning that apparently you're going to get 7 of these charges. And it's going to be 2100 AP6 damage, like pure anti-tank damage, which is interesting because they hit that Hulk from the back. So I would absolutely love it if it's at least AP4. If it's anything above AP4, that is wild. And then the next thing that I'm curious is how much damage do you take being that close to the explosion? Because man, you are close. Like when that guy does the dive right here onto the back of the Hulk, you don't see if he dies or not. So, how practical is it going to be? Apparently, the base melee on it's going to be 300. And if that's the case, that should be, I mean, that'll be enough to kill hunters. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's going to be enough to kill hunters. Where's their health pool? Yeah, see 160 health. All right, so hunter, what about a warrior? Warrior's got 325. Okay, so if you hit it in a weak point, or if it's got if the hammer itself is heavy pen, then you'd be able to do it. But medium to medium, you're gonna have to hit it twice, unless you hit it in the back. And then it depends because they also got the durable change. It's 20% durable, so you'd have to hit it in the legs. But only 40% goes to main, so you probably won't be able to one-shot a warrior without the charge. I if it doesn't, that's really stupid. So I hope that that is going to be the case. So if those stats bear out and it's 2100 anti-tank, so AP 4 or 5 or higher, with 7 charges, it's all going to come down to how much damage do you take from using it. And if it's any. Unless that armor gives you like extra stims, and you might have to wear explosive resistant armor just to survive it, or democracy protects. But then it would be totally impractical. So there's got to be something to it. So we'll see. Then we've got the last 16 Trident. This thing was an absolute beast in Helldivers 1. Like hands down the best weapon in Helldivers 1. If you see here, it splits into 6 beams. Like you've got 3 generators, and then each generator splits into 2 beams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this pattern is consistent, and it wasn't that I remember in Helldivers 1, that there were patterns to it, aiming this is going to be really hard. So if it's just like the regular scythe, then it'll be light pen. Each of these beams will be 60 damage. He'll have like no stagger force. Should be able to light stuff on fire. So for bots, and they're just shredding troopers here, but like devastators, I don't see how you'd be able to kill devastators with this, or at least like very easily. But on the bugs and the Illuminates, this thing is just going to be a monster. Because you'll be able to kill. If you brought a medium pen weapon for the harvesters, or like an anti-tank weapon for the harvesters and the stingrays, this will kill overseers. Probably not easy, especially the flying overseer, just because of the beam spread. Because it seems to spread like really, really wide. Like if you see that spread, that guy's not very far away, and you see how big that spread is. So I'm a little worried about it. Sure, I'm a little worried about it, but I still think it's gonna shine on bugs and squids, even as is, like, even if it's just scythe damage or sickle damage, where it's 60 per beam, and they do it from there. It it has huge potential, and I'm really excited to try it because, like I said, the Trident in Helldivers 1 was an absolute monster. All right, moving on. Belt-fed grenade launcher. Now this is going to be interesting. If it's got the exact same stats as the regular grenade launcher, if it's just a clone of this, just belt fed, you've got 400 explosion, and I believe the projectile also does damage. Or is it just the grenade pistol that does damage? I'm not seeing it in here. But it's medium armor pen, 400 explosion. I thought the rounds did damage, but I guess it's just the grenade pistol. Let's see. Specials. Oh, right, I've got to go to secondaries. And then go to special. Grenade pistol. Okay, so it is just a grenade pistol, because grenade pistol does 250 ballistic, and then the 400 explosion damage, and it's medium. Okay, so back to the grenade launcher. Alright, so if it is just going to be a clone of this, and it's 400 explosion damage, you need to give up your backpack. So it's going to come down to how many rounds does it hold in the backpack. And like, you get 10 capacity, so this gives you 30 rounds off the jump. So if it's anything less than like 90 or 120, then you're better off just bringing this in a supply pack, because you got to give up your backpack slot anyway, and then you've got the benefits of the supply pack where it refills your grenades and your stims and your regular ammo. So it's kind of the problem they have with the maxi gun, is the maxi gun doesn't give you nearly as enough ammo for how fast it fires and how inaccurate it is. So you just end up chewing through ammo, and it's only 80 damage too. Like, either it needs a little bit more damage, and this needs to be like doubled. You need to have like 1,500 rounds, because a regular MG43 MG43 is 90 damage, so you're already losing 10 damage. It's still medium pen. And you get 4 mags total at 175, so that's what? 700 rounds total. Okay, so you get 700 rounds of 90 damage bullets versus 750 rounds of 80 damage bullets. So you can see, and then the fire rate here is 900, and then the fire rate. Oh, did I time out? Yeah, I did. Shit. Just give me a second. All right. The fire rate here, yeah, is a lot faster. It's 1,500 rounds versus, I think, 900. Yeah, at max is 900. But because of your accuracy, even if you're wearing peak physique, you can't aim down the sights because the muzzle flash is too bananas. So, and then on top of that, even if you are wearing peak physique with the maxi gun, it really is a beast to control. So, um, you're better off at the MG43. And so I have a suspicion that if this is just a grenade launcher clone, you're probably better off with the supply pack and the grenade launcher. The only upside to this, if it's 90 or 120 rounds, is you could bring in a third stratagem. So rather than needing a supply pack, you can bring an extra sentry or an extra eagle strike or an extra orbital or whatever you want. So you can get an extra something. If you can move around while firing, which I think he does. Yeah, he's moving around while firing, so I mean that's good. So I I've used the grenade launcher quite a bit, and honestly, I should be using it a lot more now, especially when they did the durable changes to the enemies. The grenade launcher is a lot better than the machine gun, which is really sad because the MG43 was my favorite weapon. Um, they just have to get to grips with now that they can figure out backpack fed weapons, making them actually be useful. So, we'll see. Now, this thing here, very interesting. SH-39 shield. Deployable personal shield, which is apparently takes your grenade slot. So you could wear the bubble shield and this shield and then bring the shield generator and just be triple shielded, which would be absolutely hilarious. And I am going to at least do that once. Just because it's stupid. Why not? I can see this having a lot of functionality, especially for doing some objectives. You can throw it down and protect yourself from enemy fire. But more importantly is if you don't have to pick up the generator and they give you like 3 of them and it refills from your regular ammo pickups like grenades do, then you can deploy it as like a wall. So you don't have to actually be in it. You just put it between you and the enemies as you're running away and you're blocking all their fire. So I can see some utility to this, and then it's going to come down to how much damage can it absorb. And if it absorbs all that damage, does it recharge and come back? Or when you put it down, how long does it last? Because if it only gives you that bubble shield for like 5 seconds, then, not super worth it. If it's there for, like, the bubble shield that you wear, the personal bubble shield, it never dies. I mean, it takes your backpack slot, so it's got some sort of like power source on it that's big that you carry around, but it never goes away. Um, so it's interesting. Is it going to be really useful and useful enough to substitute a grenade for it? Time will tell, and I'm definitely going to try it out. But you know, it it has some potential, and it's very different from stuff that we've seen so far. This to me is kind of like the warp pack, where it's out of left field, not something that I would have expected, and has utility. Hopefully with this deployable shield.
Destroyer joining squadron. Deploying Helldiver. Calling down a vehicle.
These patterns look okay, and I don't really care about cosmetics in the game. Don't really care about emotes. But this right here, this looks like this, just a lot bigger. And that's what me and the guys that I play with regularly have been talking about is ultimatum. This is just a much bigger ultimatum. So we're guessing that it's an eat, so it's an expendable. We're guessing that you're going to get one of them in the call down. Another thing that really brings home that all this is a bigger ultimatum is look at the arc that this fires on. See, that guy's aiming up, and he's aiming up like a good amount. He's standing pretty high, and you can see the arc, and it's gonna land on this guy here. See, look at the round. Passes the guy, and there it's arcing right to him. So you're probably not going to be able to fire it very far without aiming really high. So it'll make it a little bit tricky to use at anything outside of maybe like 100 meters. But the ultimatum is 1,000 ballistic and 2,000 explosive, anti-tank 2, so AP6. That's a bigger round than an ultimatum. So is it going to be like 3 or 4,000? Still the 1,000 ballistic, but the explosion be like 3 or 4,000, or maybe give it a little bit more ballistic and a little bit more explosive. Very interesting. Are you going to be able to one-shot factory striders? In this video, they conveniently didn't shoot the factory strider, which sucks because it would have been nice to see. But still, very interesting. If you're able to one-shot a Bile Titan or a War Strider or Factory Strider with one of those, or maybe even if two of you call down one and you can take out Leviathans with it, that's going to be so awesome. I'll just do a whole expendable run where I bring in the expendable napalms, the regular expendables, a commando, and just run around throwing stuff down, shooting and moving. And I am really excited about this very specifically. It looks really good. And then the main thing that this is going to come down to, the main thing is it going to be Demo Force 50? Now, the controversy with stuff not having 50, like the dynamite and the C4, comes down to not being able to close Bile Titan spawner holes, detector towers, gunship towers, and jammers. The ultimatum when it first came out was Demo Force 50. You were able to one-shot jammers and detector towers and Bile Titan holes. Now you can still take out Bile Titan holes with it, I'm pretty sure. I haven't done it in a little bit, so I don't really remember on that one. Maybe you can't, and I'm just remembering from when you could. So if this isn't Demo Force 50, Hey, what are we even doing? It's an expendable one-shot weapon. The whole point of the ultimatum when they brought it out was like your one-shot mini nuke, like personal end whatever's in front of you explosion. And they stripped it of that demo force. And people are still salty about it. I mean, it's fine. They just really need to get over that. Like, it's not game breaking to be able to take those things out slightly easier because you're making a sacrifice to be able to do it. Like a C4 charge is a demolition charge. The TNT pack is a demolition charge. It should be able to demolish structures and somehow signal out those structures as no. It can do regular fabricators, but not these specific ones. So to me, that's silly, and I really hope that this is going to have Demo Force 50, but it probably won't. So what it's going to come down to is how much actual damage does it do, and if it's double an ultimatum, that's going to be bananas, and I'm for it. Absolutely. Even if they made it with like a 2 minute cooldown or like a 2.5 minute cooldown. Maybe 2.5 minute would be a bit long. Because the eat cooldown is already like a minute, but you get two of them, and then the napalm eats is like a minute and a half, and the commando is like a minute and a half. So I don't know if I would go longer than 90 seconds or whatever it is. I know I have the ship upgrades, so it's like 90 seconds to me. So it's likely a little bit longer, but because of my level 5 ship upgrades, it's not. All right, and then the last thing here in the video.
Allied destroyer has left the squadron.
And then here, right here, too, February 3rd. That is bananas. Two weeks between Warbonds. Do you hear that? So as this corpse is getting dragged, you hear bot noises. Well, what what would this be all about? And again, the guys I play with speculate cyborg dogs, just like from Helldivers 1. They were a huge pain in the ass. They were basically the bot version of like stalkers. They were super difficult to deal with and a huge fucking pain in the ass. But that's kind of what we're guessing is
a worthy choice.
cyborgs, and those are the cyborg dogs. I forget what they were called in the first one, but that's basically what they were. And if that's the case, that's the introduction of the well, I guess that might not technically be a fourth enemy faction. That just could be more automatons, and the automatons could be in league with the cyborgs, but that might introduce a lot of cyborg units. And I won't go into specifics, but there are hints that is going to be the case, and I'll leave it at that. So, very interesting future ahead for Helldivers 2, and I am really excited about it. I can't wait to try this Warbond. I hope that hammer is going to be good. I worry about it. Not gonna be good. But I'm trying not to get too discouraged this time. Because, man, I really was with the Redacted Warbond, and it turned out to be like a real winner. Well, not a real winner, but it turned out to be really good. You know, decent. Right. No. The C4 isn't for me. Full stop. It's good to use. And there are a couple people that I play with really absolutely love it. And it is basically like a recoilless replacement. You just have to throw it. And if you're not the host, you're not detected. But they might also fix that. So that at the moment is not necessarily something to judge them on because it could be fixed. So even though I don't like it, I would consider the C4 a win. The lure mines are super powerful. Like absolutely ridiculous powerful. I forgot to bring a loyalist so I could flip my Jeep back over. Oh well. Anyway, so the C4 on that was good. The lure mines are absolutely ridiculous powerful. Maybe not for the bugs, but for the bots and the Illuminate. Oh my god. The Illuminate especially is... I recommend you trying it out if you haven't yet, because you can do some really silly things. And then the armor works surprisingly well. You can get really close to the enemies without them seeing you, especially if you're in any sort of like, you know, bush or smoke, or if it's raining, or they have to basically be on top of you to see you. So the armor works really well. I like the way it looks. All three of the sets were really well done. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to buy the impact smoke grenades from the superstore, and they took them out only after 4 days, which kind of makes me mad. Usually they leave stuff up there for a week before they rotate it, and I was hoping to earn more super credits before I bought them. So, you know, I am upset about that, and I didn't get a chance to use them because of it. But they do look like they work almost as good as regular smoke grenades, and smoke grenades worked, you know, fairly well after they fixed them. And if it's just a faster version of a smoke grenade, then it's also going to be good. You know, again, I just didn't have a chance to use them, so I don't know for sure. And then you have the marksman rifle. I think it's called... No, Null Cipher is the armor set. The Stencer is what it's called. So the marksman rifle is an absolute beast. Right now, it's the best marksman rifle in the game by far. And that comes down to it having a extended magazine. So you get 30 rounds on it with very low ergo cost to have it. And right now there's a bug with the extended magazines, and usually when you swap in an extended, they take away magazines to try and give you roughly the same amount of ammo overall. But in this case, they missed it. So right now, you can get the extended magazine, which gives you 10 extra bullets at no extra reload speed loss. and no magazine loss. So that turns out to be a net 80 bullets. And that is absolutely incredible. Even if they get around to actually fixing that in the future, it's still going to be the best marksman rifle in the game. And that's just down to it being silenced. So you can use it to pick out guys in a base and not alert everybody in the base. So, even if you're not going for stealth gameplay, that still has utility. And the assault rifle, well, I have it at level 25 now, so I've used it, enough to level it up and get the attachments and stuff for it. And it's not for me. I think the Liberator is better than it. It's really accurate, sure. And it fires fast, but to me, the regular Liberator is a better weapon. But just like pretty much all the other assault rifles in the game, minus the Coyote, is all these assault rifles just aren't in a good place right now. Right now, they're like the weakest weapons for primary weapons. All of them aren't good. So it also suffers from that, unfortunately. Maybe if it had, like, because it's light pen and they're trying to make a big difference between light and medium pen weapons, maybe if it had 10 extra durable and bump it up to 30 instead of 20, or maybe 35, especially with the durable changes of medium enemies that they just did. You go through ammo so quick when you use it that I basically don't use it without a supply pack. Because even like troopers and stuff is like, if you have a well placed and you put it on burst fire mode, you can kill them in one burst. But otherwise, you're firing like 2 bursts to kill enemies. It's not very ammo efficient. So I don't know. It's not for me, but I also can't say if it's good or bad because it might just be me that doesn't like it. Like I said, I prefer the regular Liberator. They've got very similar recoil. It's just it's got a way faster fire rate. It's basically double the Liberator's fire rate. So technically it does more damage per second. Like if the regular Liberator came out today, I would probably say that it's not very good. And that's just because assault rifles, like I said, are in a really bad place right now with that durable change that they did. The meta is kind of shifted. It's not even really the meta. It's just what works more efficiently at killing things has kind of shifted from fire to explosion damage. So right now, explosive weapons for primaries are your best option at being able to kill stuff like very efficiently. Yeah, so it's more about ammo economy. right? So what weapon gives you good
Elders across the galaxy
ammo
are fighting for
economy?
every inch
And
of
right
territory.
now,
Where will you join them?
it's explosive
Resources for
primaries
freedom's
give
expansion.
you the best ammo economy. So something that you don't have to bring in a supply pack for. Like, hands down, the Scorcher is probably one of the best primaries in the game. It's really quiet. It can kill basically everything except it is so hungry on ammo that you kind of can't use it without a supply pack or being on a map that you know has a lot of ammo boxes because you just like piss through ammo so fast. Unless you're bringing like a machine gun or stalwart, grenade launcher, something to take care of chaff, and you're using it to take down bigger enemies, you really do need a supply pack with it. So to me, I think it's just straight up called the suppressor. The assault rifle from Redacted Regiment is kind of like the Scorcher, except I don't really like it. Where I do really like the Scorcher. I just, you know, I don't use it that often. I leveled it up and I haven't gone back to it, but I haven't gone back to a lot of weapons. I've been focusing on leveling up my weapons because I wouldn't use most of the weapons I've been using. The only reason I am using a lot of them is strictly because I'm leveling them up. Like, Plasma Punisher is kind of my go-to bot weapon. Crossbow is kind of my go-to bug weapon. And then for Illuminate, I was using the Eruptor. So those were kind of the weapons that I would use on the factions. Now the Scorcher, I was also using on the Illuminate, and it works really well, especially on Overseers. But that was kind of the stuff that I used, and I am looking forward to going back there. But it has been nice doing these weapon upgrades and leveling them up, because it has given me the opportunity to go back to weapons and see where they're at and what they're like and use them again, since some things I haven't used since the game came out, like the regular shotgun, the Punisher. And I haven't used that since I got the game on the PlayStation in 2024. So that has been nice. And to get to level 25 is a good amount of hours with that weapon to get you there, because it's I don't know how many operations it takes in total to do it, but each weapon leveling it up has got to be, I don't know, 8+ hours of gameplay. Seems reasonable. Might even be a bit more than that. So you have to stick with the weapons for a little while, is basically my point. And that has been nice, because it really gives you a chance to refamiliarize yourself with them and see if they're your style, and if you should bring them back into rotation, even if you don't use them all the time. where a weapon is currently at, or if you see it in the change log and you're like, oh yeah, right, I like that weapon. This change might be really good. Maybe I should bring it out and give it a try again. So that has been really nice. And don't worry, I'm not going to farm super credits all afternoon either. I'm just going to do this for a little while. And then I'll actually run some missions. I might try and do like a full-on stealth level 10 on something and see how much of a disaster that is. Just because stealth isn't my gameplay. I'm too aggressive, too impatient. I know it, and that's okay. I'd much rather just be like running headfirst into the action with a machine gun than being super secret squirrel skulking around the map. $14.80, okay. Kind of want to at least be at 1700 by the end of the day. That's a decent one. Let's see. Let's go with this. It's fine.
Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Helipod launch initiated.
If the automatons can feel regret, they shall feel it soon. Sending down equipment package. Deploying
Look at that, I got lucky. If I was more careful where I threw those pods, I could have, oh shit! Oh no, that's requisition slip. That's only 10 super credits, damn. That got me excited there for a moment. I've only found the mythical 100 stack, I think, once. They are super rare. It's something like 1% of your chances of finding super credits. Of those times, 1% of them can be the mythical 100 stack. So, you know, it's not something you see very often, but it is something that you can see, which is incredible. You know, as much as I hate doing this farming stuff, it is still really nice of Arrowhead to give you that ability to farm super creds, because it's their premium paid for currency. You know, they don't have to give you the ability to grind them out in game for free. Now, I do wish it was more satisfying doing the grind. Yeah, of course. You know, I wish they gave you like some super credits for doing level 10 missions. Like if you completed an operation that they give you a handful of super credits so that you don't have to just do this boring farm. Like, there should be some sort of reward for doing high level content or doing the major order. Like, when you do a major order operation, if it's successful and you complete it, you know, give up some super credits. Why not? Reward the people that actually do the missions. Because right now, you don't have to participate in the major order at all to get the medals. All the, like, it's community-wide reward, and that is really discouraging. And the one time that they actually changed it was over the holiday season, and they gave you a cape, which I'm a little bit salty about because I didn't log in to get it. But that's fine. I'm glad that they did it, even though I'm a little bit pissed that they decided to do it for the first time and I didn't get it, because I do like what it looks like too. So, but that's fine. You know, again, I'm happy that they did it, and I hope they do it more in the future. It just gives me incentive to make sure that I log in every once in a while if I'm taking a break from the game and playing something else, to make sure I log in for a few minutes and run a mission. And that way, if they do another reward like that, I'll be able to get it. Especially since none of the stuff I have on the PlayStation is transferred. So I have a bunch of those type of cosmetics on the PlayStation that I can't get on PC. And again, that's fine. It would have been nice to know, because even though I was sick, I would have logged in. And just, you know, did a farming mission like this and just completed it instead of just bailing on a major order planet. I would have at least done that once to be able to get it. Wow, I got 60 super creds in that run. That's incredible.
Every sector in the galaxy must be purged of the alien menace. The operation is...
Coordinates locked.
Nah, I didn't see what the map looked like. Oh well. Yeah.
Engaging orbital thrusters.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about, before I started, I wanted to talk about stuff I would like to see in the game. Maybe I'll cover some of that at the end of today.
Launch initiated.
Even if I'm playing with people, I'll break back to my ship and talk a little bit about what I'd like to see come in. Because I do have some ideas on what I would like to see. You know, the guys that I play this with, we've all been playing it pretty much since the game came out, so we really love the game, even though, you know, I would be considered a cry diver because I complain about it a lot. I do absolutely love this game, and I want it to do well. I want the community to be where it was like 8 months ago. Like 8 months ago, there were like 140, 150,000 people on all the time, and that was great. And it comes, like, I don't want this game dying. I want to be playing this game in 2 years. You know, it's so much fun. The chaos of it is just fantastic. I really love it. And I don't, like I said, I don't want it to die, and I don't want the community to be super small. It'll make a lot of things a lot harder to do, like running major orders and stuff if the community is really small. Because if a large percentage of those people don't care about the major order, then it's going to matter a lot more, and it's going to require more balancing, and like it's not good. So I was a little discouraged with the numbers over redacted Warbond. The player numbers weren't really good. I don't even think it broke 100,000. And it's a lot of people are salty about some of the changes that they've done, and them lying over like the Coyote. Very specifically, they lost a lot of player trust in players in what they did with the Coyote, and then doing the durable change that they did, and making primary weapons, and not even primary weapons anymore. It's even support weapons, making them feel less effective and useless, like requiring you to use more and more specific weapons. Like, people don't like that. So, you know, they're hurting themselves, and it's really sad to see it, because they could win back a lot of their community that they've lost. In my mind, they could win it back pretty easy. You know, give primary weapons, not across the board, but maybe like non-explosive primary weapons. Like, I'll use that as a qualifier, and this isn't across the board either, but this is just general. Like, you need to give them like a 25% buff in damage. And then if you want more of a difference between light and medium pen weapons, just give light pen weapons even more damage increase. So if you're giving all your primary ballistic weapons, let's say, you're giving them all a 25% increase, just straight damage, then what you'd want to do is maybe give light pen weapons on top of that an extra 20% durable damage. Make their fire rates like a little bit faster than what they are. Not much, just a little bit. And then maybe give them a little bit more recoil. And then almost completely remove, what do they call it in game? Drag. And then reduce sway. Like, almost get rid of sway as well. Because right now, firing a pistol sucks. They're so inaccurate. Unless you're like absolutely prone on the ground, they're so inaccurate. Shotguns don't feel super great to use. And then submachine guns are just shit. Anything over like 20 meters, you've lost 50% of your damage, so useless at engaging a lot of enemies. Unless you're dealing very specifically and pretty much exclusively with Terminids, and then you like having them be right on top of you, submachine guns are just, they're not in a good spot right now. Shotguns kind of aren't either. The Slugger used to be a really good weapon, but now most of his damage is gone after 20 meters. So being able to like one-shot devastators with it, man, good luck trying to do that. Basically, it's just not great, and it's a slug. You're firing a slug, so it's not like projectiles and you're dealing with like bullet spread. No, it's one solid chunk of lead going downrange, and you know, best of luck to you. So reverse some of those changes. Continue to work on stability. Like remove some of this fog that's in game. That'll help with stability quite a bit. There's no reason why they can't reverse the AI update that they did that basically dropped your frames by 20% across the board. You know, just maybe reverse that or just work on trying to get the frame rates back up, and then also get the spawn rates back up. The enemy spawn rates are way, 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 way less than what they used to be. And then, like, you can't believe Arrowhead when they tell you that they can't increase them at all. Because they absolutely can. And they kind of proved that they could with the commando missions. It's on the commando missions, you can have, like, there's no cool there, or at least it didn't seem like there were cooldowns between the call downs. So if you were just going loud, man, you could have wave after wave after wave of enemies just coming down at you. It's like you were standing in front of a detector tower, and it was great, except there were commando missions that you couldn't use any of your stratagems. So it made them a lot more difficult, but it felt like the spawn rates were up. And then the rapid acquisition mission, the spawn rates on that are pretty up there. And then back, the Illuminate Invasion missions seemed like their spawn rates were way higher. So why can't all missions be like that? So, you know, that is something that would also need to be addressed. Is this it on the map, really? Just those POIs? Wow. There's gotta be more somewhere, right? Alright, here's another one. Alright, there's another one. Oh, is this another bunker? Yeah, it is. Wow. Look at that, double bunker. I thought I saw a beacon there, but no, it's not. You know, maybe I'll just use my time while I'm playing here, since I'm already talking about stuff I'd like to see changed in the game with gameplay and like player numbers and stuff. I'll just talk about the weapons and that I'll just do it right now as I'm farming, because that'll give anybody that's actually watching me do this, I know it's really boring because it's super boring for me doing it, so it must be boring to watch. And you can come in chat and you can give me your feedback or responses to what you think of my ideas. Absolutely. I would love to hear other people's thoughts on these sort of things. Because again, I love this game and I really would like to see it do well.
The hour of our next victory rapidly approaches. Let us cleanse the galaxy of alien scum. Resources for freedom's expansion.
All of these maps don't look good. This one looks like the best out of them, so I'll roll with this one.
Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters. Orbit synchronized. Hellpod launch initiated.
Sorry about that. The missus just jumped by to say hi.
Take back our land.
Where am I? Okay, I'm in the south.
Sending down equipment package.
Okay, so the ideas that I have about the game, I haven't thought about damage numbers or anything like that. Like, it's pretty much just straight, like, items. And I'll slowly get into them as I go through this here. They're going to be in no particular order. And it's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I wish that there was a way that I could give some feedback to Arrowhead, because I really would like to see some of this stuff in game. And we'll start off with the first thing is going to be weapon attachments, where I would like to be able to choose different, like, ammo types. So maybe like a armor piercing round, or a high explosive round, or maybe incendiary round, or gas round, or electric round, or stun rounds. You know, I would like to be able to select that for any weapon, or any ballistic weapon anyway. Maybe with the plasma weapons, be able to change the characteristics of the plasma somehow. Maybe do something like give plasma weapons the ability to set gas on fire, or maybe have a ship upgrade that gives you the ability to ignite your gas. You know, have it just called like flammable gas. And if you're using a plasma weapon or a fire weapon of some sort, that you can ignite the gas for extra damage on enemies. That would be really neat. And then when it comes down to attachments, be able to, subsonic rounds. So I could put subsonic rounds and a silencer on any weapon I want. So if I want the base Liberator to have subsonic, it can have subsonic, or even the hell, even give shotguns like the Slugger the ability to be subsonic and be really quiet. Be able to maybe swap out barrel types. So that's how you would change light pen weapon to be medium pen, you know, something like that. So just open up the attachments way more. Underbarrel grenade launcher, maybe underbarrel shotgun. Give an underbarrel shotgun. Underbarrel beanbag rounds that you can use to knock back enemies. You know, there's so many options that you can do
A failed operation. We will run.
Coordinates locked.
with weapon attachments. Like, you could have so many more, and I would like to see that. Plus, I would like to see weapons that don't have it. I would like to see weapons that have them, like the double-edged sickle
Orbit synchronized.
and the regular sickle. The scythe has basically an extended mag. They call it like a increased heatsink capacity. Well, why can't the sickle have that? And why can't the scythe have that? In fact, you could even do 2 on the scythe, or not the scythe, the double edge, where you could have extended heat sink, which gives it more shots before it overheats. But then you could have the reverse, where you could have an insulated heat sink where it holds the heat longer. So that way you can fire it in its medium or heavy pen modes for a longer period before it cools down. That would be really neat. But like, none of the energy weapons have attachments. They're purely cosmetic. That's really sad. So I'd like to see energy weapons have cosmetics, or not have cosmetics, have attachments, and then just, you know, more attachments across the board. Sure, it would take away unique abilities of some weapons, but what you could do is just always have those weapons be slightly better. So, like, example, incendiary breaker versus if you have the regular breaker and you put incendiary rounds on it. Well, just make them be slightly less efficient than the incendiary breaker, or just make the like the ergonomic penalty, or, you know, slightly lower round capacity. Like, you can downside it to still make the weapons that natively came with whatever benefit still benefit more, but you would give the players more customizability to use the weapons that they like to use, but have them be more effective in their use. And then that would expand weapon usability, because then people could use the weapons that they really like, and then just have them be more versatile in more situations. An example, I love the crossbow, but I would like to see maybe different arrowheads that I could carry. Maybe even carry a couple different ones and use the alternate fire mode to switch between them. So maybe I want an arrow that doesn't fire an explosive tip, but I want an incendiary tip, so it like explodes a big pool of flame on the ground. So like a napalm tip. Maybe I'd like that instead, but then have the versatility to switch between the two. Like, that would be great. So I'd like to see something more in that field, and there's a lot of option that they can do, a lot of expandability. Hell, I would even say release a Warbond specifically and exclusively on weapon attachments and just call it like the Armorer Warbond. And you can theme your Super Destroyer. You know, you don't have to do any big changes on the Super Destroyer itself. You can just call it like the Armory and just have, you know, that's what the Warbond's about, is expanding the armory on your Super Destroyer. Easy in lore thing that you could do, actually realistic, because you could do that in real life. So why not in this fictionalized future world? Doesn't make sense. Should definitely be able to do that, and I would love to see it. Alright, finish this. You know what? I'm gonna just break this up and do like a couple per map, since that was a big topic. Weapon attachments. Like you could like this here. This would take more work and it would be slightly bigger. Maybe you could make it a ship upgrade. Where you see this is like the stratagem sort of help pod deploying area. Well, why not have like right here, open this up, have this be like a firing range, you know, just a little small one, like just have it two lanes firing range, and then right here be weapon customization station. You don't have to go through that. You can still use the regular computer thing here, or you can move this computer over there, or that functionality over there. You know, but that would take more work. And there is enough room right here where you could do it. There's not really a lot of room for a firing range, but if you went through this door and turned left and then used this whole room, you know, that would give you a little bit of space to do it. Yeah, that would be a decent distance for a firing range, so why not? Then that could be a nice level 6 ship upgrade, or hell, even level 7 ship upgrade. Why not?
Our city must. The operation
So
has failed.
they could easily make that into a Warbond,
But instead
and then you'd
redouble
be
our
able
efforts.
to have like a bunch of those done, since there already are weapon attachments.
Coordinates locked.
Pretty much every Warbond should maybe have like one weapon attachment on it,
Engaging orbital thrusters.
just to like flush it out. They've been giving a lot of Warbonds cosmetics, but why not a weapon attachment? I really would like to see more of those. And again, especially for weapons that don't have like any weapon attachments, just strictly cosmetic, that's gotta stop. It's really gotta stop. But sadly, I don't think they're ever going to. When the 1-2, because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was kind of holding on hope that they were going to at some point, but when the 1-2 came out, like, that weapon alone kind of made me think that there's no way that they would ever do that. But I still would like to see it, even though I don't think that they're ever going to do it. It still would be really good. Nope. There we go. Okay, so first actual item, new item, not just more of something that's in game that I would like to see. And really, I don't know really why specifically I would like to see this or how useful I think that they would actually be, but I still would like to see them in game are claymores, especially for like the defense missions where we're holding a static position, and that could open up more defense missions and give you more options and stuff on them. I would like to see claymores in game. You know, they're a real thing in real life and have been used for decades and decades, and I was kind of surprised that they haven't been in game already, just because of how used they are in real life. So Claymore is the first thing, and you know, it's not the first thing I would like to see in game. It's just, it's one of the first things that I thought about. Oh wow, I'm surprised that this isn't in game. I would like to see it be in game at some point. So it's the first item for me that came to mind when I started thinking about this stuff. Our claymores. No, no, okay. Alright, so after Claymore, this is a more recent weapon that I've been thinking about, and that is a black hole grenade. So, a grenade that you throw and pulls enemies closer to like the explosion, and then there is like an explosive force of some sort. I know games have utilized black hole grenades before. I just can't think of where they are. And I know there are like gravity guns in a lot of games too. It's not an uncommon thing to be in like sci-fi style shooters. And it wouldn't be unique to Helldivers, but I would like to see Arrowhead utilize the lore of Dark Fluid, and I would like to see Super Earth use more Dark Fluid and Illuminate style weaponry, because that's how war kind of works. You know, you appropriate enemy technology when they're superior to you in some sort of way, and you take it and you try and copy it for yourself if it's very effective. So I would like to see black hole grenades are like the first thing that came to mind, because the Illuminate can manipulate gravity with dark fluid. That was the whole like Meridian storyline with the black hole and the Illuminate fleet coming through the black hole to attack Super Earth last holiday season.
The bots terrorize this planet with their
So
mechanized brutality.
items
Dive to the surface
that
and
utilize
victory of this
E711,
operation has eluded our grasp.
Coordinates locked.
I would love to see it.
Hellpods prime.
And black hole grenades are the first thing that came to mind. There are many different things that you could utilize if you dig into like the lore of E711 and gravity. Like, why not a E711 fueled jetpack and have like an Illuminate style jetpack where you could always be like hovering around. Why not? You know, they have the technology. We've killed a bunch of them. Why can't we reverse engineer it? So something along those lines would be pretty neat. I don't really have a lot of specifics on dark fluid items. I just know that the Illuminate that are going to be coming in the game and the Illuminate that were in Helldivers 1, like, Super Earth would have been copying their weaponry because a lot of it is really superior to Helldivers weaponry, and they absolutely would have tried to copy and do a Super Earth version of. So I really would like to see more along those. The Control Group Warbond. You know, just call it like Control Group 2, Control Group 3. Have that be a whole series of Warbonds where it's experimental Illuminate tech and we're out here like testing it out. We're on the cutting edge of super science. You know, that could be a whole storyline. Why not? A lot of potential there for a lot of different wild options. A big one that people talk about all the time, mech customization. God, mech customization needs to be in-game. It needs to be in-game, like, last year. There's no reason why you can't mix and match arms on the mechs. And then more weaponry for the mechs. They are mechs right now. Should be, or could be at least, a lot better than what they are very easily. And I do like using them, I just don't use them very often. They're also very squishy, so I would like to see a heavier armored version of our mech, or be able to customize it to increase armor on it. It should be... I don't know if they might already be medium pen or AP3. If they're not AP3, they should be AP3. And maybe even like a really fast one. You know, have it be like a light mech. Call it like the Explorer, the Scout suit. Yeah, why not? A lot of potential there. And then something that they absolutely need to have is a stratagem ball launcher. Why do I have to get out of my mech every single time I want to put something on map? That is a huge L for Super Earth. Helldivers 1 had the ability to deploy stuff while you were in your mech, and there's no reason and no excuse why Helldivers 2 you can't. There's none. Absolutely none. So they desperately need to do that. Probably more than anything with the mechs is they need stratagem launchers. And they need them immediately. In fact, they shouldn't have come out without them. Because it just makes people want to use them less. Because it's a pain in the ass to take your mech, which is not stealthy at all. So you kind of have to be engaging with stuff when you're moving with it. And then when you get close to engagement, or you take out like the first wave of stuff, and then there's an enemy um, reinforcement call in, and now you've got to get out of your mech, key in your stratagems and whatever you're going to drop, and then you got to drop them, and then you got to get back in your mech, and there's that little bit of cooldown time before you get out, and then after you get back in, before you can
This
start
operation
moving
is
again.
no longer viable.
And that
We must
just
redirect our
feels really clunky. And honestly, it's all of it is unnecessary.
Coordinates locked.
And that needs to be rectified like immediately.
Hellpods prime.
It's a disgrace that they haven't.
Orbital thrusters.
I would like to see other weapons on the mechs. At the very least, a flamethrower like they had in Helldivers 1, but why not grenade launcher? Why not rail cannon? Or railgun? A smaller rocket pod, but stronger rockets. So that they're actually anti-tank. Make it like a recoilless that just even the same shots as a recoilless. You get 6 shots of it. There's 6 of them there. That's it. Boom, you're done. If they focus a little bit more on the mechs and made them a little bit more durable, then I would love to have a way where you could call down like a refit station for them. So it's like a hell pod, but it's a slightly bigger than a hell pod, or it deploys into something that's like a little weapon shed, or it has some of those like assembly style robot arms, and can refill your mech's weaponry and repair a little bit of its damage. But if they're not making the mechs any more durable, and they're still looked at to be like disposable, kind of like they are, and that's fine, then that's not really necessary. But I would like to see them be a little bit more durable, and then with them being a little bit more durable, a way to repair them in match, and then be able to refit their weaponry would be nice. And then out of like the weapons that we have now, we're not even talking like, new weapons. Just take the laser cannon turret laser and mount that on the mech's like right shoulder, and that's your right arm on your mech. So if you opened up mech customization, you'd be able to open up the weaponry that the mechs can have a lot. And again, you could make that a warbond. You call that like the mech warrior warbond. Wait, you probably couldn't call it that for copyright reasons. But you could call it something. Mechanic warbond. There you go. Easy peasy. In the Super Destroyer, why not have a ship upgrade be like a motor pool where you can customize your fast recon vehicle, and then if we get other vehicles in the future, which I absolutely would love to see, they desperately need to release the Bastion at minimum. Should be more than the Bastion, but I would to at least see the Bastion, like a armor personnel carrier would be nice. So more vehicles, and then if you're introducing more vehicles, why not have a ship upgrade be a motor pool where you can customize the weapons on your vehicles? I like this fast recon vehicle. I would bring it a lot more if instead of a HMG on the back, I could put, let's say, um, maybe like a commando or two commandos on the back, you know, side by side. So like four little rockets, or maybe two eats on the back. You know, I can bring in a fast recon vehicle with two eats on the back, and then somebody else I'm playing brings a fast recon vehicle with a stalwart on the back, and then we would just, you know, roll out as a squad like that. I mean, that would be really cool. Or an autocannon. Just being able to change the weapon on the back of the vehicle would be really nice. And again, that can be another ship upgrade. It would require, you know, some modeling and stuff. It would be a little bit of work. So not really necessary to have that be like a ship upgrade, but I really would like the option to modify the weapons. Because this HMG, as good as it is on the fast recon vehicle, man, it really does suck to use. It is so hard to aim it and shoot it. Even if you're turning down the fire rate on it, it is a beast hitting people with it. And then there's no way to refill the ammo on it. So that isn't necessarily a downside or like a deal breaker. It would be nice if you could. But again, it's not really like it's okay if you can't. Man, I was thinking when we were talking about this last night, I had a whole list of stuff that I'd like to see in game, and I should have wrote it down because I'm having trouble thinking of it today.
Failed operation. We will rise
Now that
from
I'm
its
actually
ashes.
talking about it in stream, I really should have made a list and had it be like a
Coordinates
more
locked.
prepared thing.
Hellpods primed. Engaging orbital thrusters.
And a laser shotgun, it was something I've been wanting in game for a really long time. I do like laser weapons. Since the durable upgrade, they took a big hit in their damage. They hadn't gotten a buff when they buffed all the other light pen weapons. They didn't get any sort of buff, so like the scythe is still 360 damage a second, and that should be like double to keep up with the Liberator, or maybe even a bit more than double. Same with the sickle and the double edge. I think that durable change that they did, they really hurt a lot of their weapons.
Let our enemies choke upon their territorial ambitions.
Deploying equipment package.
So give me a minute. I'm trying to think of more of the stuff that we were talking about last night. There were other actual weapons that I might actually hit my car. I'll try this forward a little bit. There we go. Oh, there's no shipping crate here? Oh, wow. What a ripoff.
No pain, no freedom.
Like, I would like to be able to play this whole game in first person, but it's fine that you can't. It just, you know, I prefer first person. I'm not really a big fan of like third person stuff like this. And they do have first person aiming, so why can't you just always be first person? So that's something that I would like, but that's not really in the scope of like weaponry and stuff that I was originally is just
Found something.
an aside. I would like to see a support shotgun. Not quite sure how you would do it since they introduced the I think it's called the double freedom. I'll have to look on ship what it's called, but it's basically the break action shotgun, but a more modern version of it, and it is an absolute beast of a weapon. I haven't used it personally yet, but I've seen videos of it used, and it's a ridiculous amount of medium pen damage. It is absolute beast. It's one of the weapons I'm going to be doing in the future. That's the only reason I haven't used it yet, is strictly I'm focused on leveling up weapons at the moment, so I'm trying not to have a whole pile of weapons be like level 10 and 13 and stuff like that. I already have a bit of that, and I've been trying to fix that and finish those. I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting there. I've got over half of my weapons done, and I keep focused on it, and I'm not using weapons even though I really want to sometimes. You know, use better weapons for the situation, especially when I'm fighting like predator strain and stuff, but I've been good about sticking to leveling up the gear I have. Oh, where's the map? This way. Okay, there we go. But I would like to see a support shotgun. Something that's ridiculously powerful. But again, I don't know how you would do it now that they have like the double freedom.
Found something.
Oops. Thought I saw another one of those supply pod things somewhere. There we go. That might be it.
Found something.
This might be the last POI. I'll have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Trying to think of other things that we were talking about last night. Man,
This operation is no longer viable.
I'll start compiling a list, and I'll do a full episode of like just talking about this kind of stuff in the future, because I'm really doing it a disservice now. Last night when we were chatting, man, we had so many ideas on stuff bouncing between a lot of us, and that I would have liked to have shared today. I'm trying to think of them, but there were a lot of weapons that we were talking about, a lot of different grenades and stuff. Healing rover would be nice. You know, the super earth flag being able to give you some sort of buff doesn't need to be crazy. Like extra stamina regen or slightly faster reloading, just something. Especially since it's a support weapon. Another thing we were talking is why the C4 needs to have a support weapon. slot taken for it, why can't you just alternate fire? So like right click on mouse or left trigger on controller. Why can't you use that to detonate? Versus actually holding a detonator and having to switch to it. It just makes it a little clunky. And I think a lot more people would enjoy it if you didn't do that. Or on weapons that, you know, require it, have just a dedicated button that you can program. But that wouldn't really work for controllers, unfortunately. It's like Xbox and PlayStation controllers, you're kind of limited on the buttons that you have. So that would really work.
Found something.
Hey, you could for PC, yeah, sure, but you gotta. This is on more than just PC, so you can't just have on the one. Oh, okay, yeah. Something else is a way on your Super Destroyer to utilize the terminals that are across from the player config terminal, like where you select your armor and stuff. There's a row of computers on the other side of the wall there. Have that be some sort of like community engagement terminal. So like when we're voting on stuff, and a lot of stuff that they put in Discord only, well, not a lot of people use Discord versus play the game. And to exclude all of those people from all the like little community events and stuff that they have and the votes that they put in there, why not utilize those computers as like your managed democracy interaction computers? And instead of putting this stuff in Discord, you interact with those computers and you do your patriotic duty. And then you can have your democracy officer, you can give him a couple extra voice lines and get him to tell you about it, and then give you shit if you haven't done it before time's up, and then just have him like increasingly give you shit if you miss, so you can give that actor a little bit more work. You know, that would be really nice. Especially for people that got banned from the Discord for really stupid reasons. Like how I was banned from the Discord for saying the word glaze divers. We're talking a bunch of thick fillets stream one day I was watching when something was coming out. I don't remember what it was, and there were a lot of people that were just like absolutely glazing Arrowhead for no reason. I think it was about the coyote, and they were saying like, "No, there was no change. You guys are just crazy." It was before Arrowhead admitted that what they had done. And we went into the Discord and we were all posting about people glazing Arrowhead. And, you know, not swearing, not being inappropriate or anything. And we all got banned. So, and it was only a temporary ban. So I am back in their Discord now. I don't participate in any of the shit there very often. I just basically take a look at any player feedback surveys that come out and I fill those out. But again, player feedback survey, why can't you run those on the Super Destroyer? You miss out on so much player feedback, and then you're getting a bias accounting on your game because only like really super huge mega fans are going to be participating in the Discord, so you don't get the average person's feedback properly. So why not run the surveys on the Super Destroyer.
The
You
automaton
easily
desire this
could.
planet
The
for their
terminals
soulless
are right there.
machinations. Go down.
Coordinates locked.
These ones right here. This whole
Hellpods prime.
there's a screen right there you can use, and there's 4 terminals here, so each person on the squad can use one. Why not have it available? This is the shotgun that I was talking about. This one right here, Double Freedom. It is a beast. Look at that damage. 840, capacity 2, rounds reload, medium armor pen. It is a monster. So I would have liked to have seen that as a support weapon instead of what it is. Not sure how you would turn that into a support weapon, but I still would like a support weapon shotgun. And you could argue that it's like the airburst rocket launcher. It's kind of a support shotgun, but you know, it's not really. But you know,
Launch initiated.
oh right. So what I would like to see is stuff that you could spend samples on. They did this over the holidays, and I missed out on it, unfortunately. Where they did an incendiary Gatling barrage. There was an EMS. I forget what the EMS one was on. EMS 120, I think, something like that. And gas walking barrage. So there are 3 different elements that they used on 3 different orbitals. And I would like to see a way where you can spend your samples that you collect, since most people that have been playing this game as long as I have just have absolutely no use for any of our samples, and that sucks if we've just been sitting there at max sample rate for ages. A way to use your samples on something that would be really cool would be sample enhanced weaponry. So for example, you make the 500 kilogram bomb for one mission be like 1,000 kilograms by enhancing it with what do they call them? Super samples. So you take the purple resource that is really hard to come by. You only get 7 per level 10 mission, and you make the cost be fairly high, so you can't do it every mission, but you know, you'd be able to do it every handful of missions. So you make the cost to be like, I don't know, if you could collect 7 per mission, 5 missions would be 35, so maybe make it like 40 super samples, and you can enhance the 500 kg bomb and make it like 1,000 kg. Just make it ridiculous. Or like you know, juice up the eagles so that they fly more efficiently. You know, you don't necessarily have to use the super samples. You could use the rares and the commons, and what you could do is offer different enhancements depending on what you're spending on. So maybe EMS Eagle smoke screen costs common samples, but like gas Eagle smoke screen costs rare samples, something like that. Just a way to juice up some of your stratagems. Not all stratagems either,
Found
but you
something.
could even take like the support weapons and give them a buff with the weapons. So maybe like take the flamethrower for
Found
example.
something.
What you could do is maybe increase its damage per second by X amount for commons, X amount for rares, and X amount for supers. And then you just make the cost something that you can only uh, do a thing every
Found something.
handful of operations. So maybe like once every 2 operations on one of the missions, you could juice up one of your things with one tier of the samples. So that would kind of average out to being like every second mission, depending on the sample you're using. Every second mission could have something that's leveled up, and then it's temporary, so it lasts that one round and then it's done.
The enemy has launched a surprise
um,
attack on one of our planets. It
you
needs
could
our
do
aid.
like squad based enhancements where it's a really big thing, or even like just some sort of squad based stratagems
This operation is no longer viable. We must
where
redirect our attention.
you invest in something with your squad and then you guys get to bring that in. So, and then you have it be something like really big. So maybe like planetary bombardment, and everybody has to pitch in uh, a big amount of samples, and then all of your super destroyers start firing on this area, and it goes
Orbit
in like a 200-meter radius type thing, and it's a big cost, so you won't be able to do that very often, but you can do it, and it's something that you can save and invest your samples in. That would be really cool.
Helipod launch initiated.
On top of that, I would just like to see more stratagems added. They haven't added a new stratagem for a while. Napalm Barrage was the last, and that was like, oh geez, a year ago, a year and a half ago. That was kind of the last one that was added. More mission-based ones. They used to offer the anti-tank mines as something that we could have won as a... Gosh, this is so long ago, I don't remember if it was a secondary part of an MO and we just never won it, or if it was an MO itself that was just really hard and we never won it. And they ended up giving us the anti-tank mines eventually anyway, because we never were able to get them in game like they were offering them. But I would like to see more of that, you know.
Found something.
There's the Sief Artillery emplacement secondary objective that you have to go and do and load up. But why not a stratagem where you call down a slightly smaller artillery piece? For example, in real life, the American Marines used to use, I don't know if they still use it, but they used to use, I think they call it an M105, but it was a 105 millimeter, like little portable artillery tube that could be slung underneath a helicopter. And it was a little portable thing that they could deploy anywhere they want. Well, why not a stratagem that you can call down artillery emplacement like that. This could be a squad based, sample based stratagem that everybody can use, like the Siege artillery. Everybody can call it in, and everybody's got it available, so it's not like one of your 4 stratagems. It's a bonus when it's on map, but you could have it be a bonus like that. Just have it be, you have to call it in and then limit its range. So say you call it in the middle of the map, it can't reach the edges of a level 10 map. So you have to kind of strategically place it, and you only maybe get one of them, and then you've got to invest your samples into getting it. But then you get 4 shots or maybe 5 shots, like the Siege artillery, and again, it's just a slightly smaller version of that. So, that would be really cool. I would really like to see more squad-based elements to this game, because they say Helldivers is a co-op game, and that's not really the case. Helldivers is more like a game you play solo, or a solo game, I should say, a solo game you play with other people, because you don't need anybody else to do any of the things. So having missions that you need other people, and you can have it like when you're on your super destroyer and you're looking at the map, if you're solo, then when you're looking at the map, it just doesn't generate that mission type, and that way you won't get people that are solo that get it and they just can't complete it. But even that wouldn't be that bad, honestly, because that would give you incentive to play with people. I know that's not possible all the time for all people, but to be able to not complete an objective because you haven't met a condition and you don't know the condition ahead of time, I mean, that's just war. I would like to see more multi-part missions and multi-stage missions, and just more opportunities for you to fail missions,
The operation is failed.
because that's not really the case now. And probably one of the biggest things that is hurting this too is this game's been out for 2 years and it's basically the same mission set. And there's been some additions over the years that have come and go, and it'll be part of a major order and it'll be a new mission type and then it's gone. Why remove it? Why not add it to the rotation of regular missions for that faction, or just add in more missions? Like, gosh, I've done the ICBM I don't know how many times. Why can't there be more of those? Because that's the meat and potatoes of the game. Anyway, I've got to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. I should have went before I dropped down, but that's my mistake. and might interpret what I've been talking about this last what hour almost as being negative or complaining, but I mean I'm really not, because I absolutely adore this game and I like it so much. I think about it outside of when I'm playing it and how it can improve, or what I think could improve it.
Down equipment package. Sending down support weapon.
Found something.
So it's it's not done out of hate at all. Like I said, I love this game. I want to be playing it in 2-3 years from now and still enjoying it and having a lot of fun and meeting people and making friends and stuff. Like, I still want to be
Found something.
a part of the Helldivers. And if there's any way that I can help make that reality, I'm absolutely up for it. If there is a way that I can help with playtesting so that stuff comes out and it's less buggy, I would be down for. I heard rumors that they were trying to do that. It was talked about a while ago, but I mean, nothing ever came of it. So I guess maybe they weren't able to find a way to implement it. I'm not sure, but there really is something special here with this game, or at least I think there is, and I would just like to see it grow and take shape into something that's like could be more than what it is. There's so much potential in this. I know there's limitations with the engine, because if you had more options with the engine, why not make Eagle 1 missions where you're flying Eagle 1 and have like big space battles? That would be fucking dope as shit. You're flying around as Eagle 1, or maybe you just could be Eagle 1 doing strike missions on planet for not just your squad but other squads. Like, that would be so cool. Having boss battles would be cool. Infiltration missions where you infiltrate like a bot facility and steal stuff would be really cool. Like, there's so much potential in this game
Found something.
for stuff, and I'm here for all of it. And whatever Arrowhead has cooking, I just I hope the best for them and for this community. So please don't misunderstand any of what I've been talking about this afternoon as just straight criticism about the game, because it absolutely is the opposite of my intention. And I doubt anybody at Arrowhead will ever see this anyway. I doubt many people at all will ever see this. I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't have a lot of clout. So I can't really easily enact the change that I'd like to see in this game very easily. I fill out my player feedback surveys whenever I get a chance to, and the last survey I filled out, I did put in
Unnecessary.
like suggestions on what I'd like to see in game, and I'm gonna start doing that to my player surveys. And hopefully, somebody at Arrowhead sees them, because I just have limited ways to try to pass on some of these ideas to the developers, and I really wish I could, because there's some things that really bug at least the veteran players that I play with. All of us are super pissed that, like, there's a grind for samples occasionally, like when the last ship upgrades. It's been over a year since the last ship upgrades, and we've all been sitting at max samples. And we donate to the Democracy Space Station occasionally, but most of the time we forget to do it. And that's on us, but even then it's barely anything to spend your samples
Victory
on,
this operation
and
has
it's
eluded
not
our
really
plans,
like
but
a
our
huge
resolve
benefit
remains firm.
to you to do it. So it does kind of feel like a waste, but that's the only thing to spend samples on. And there's so much room on this destroyer where you could add other things.
Orbital thrusters.
Why not an armory right here? And then why not have a staircase go down,
Orbit synchronized.
or have this be a little elevator that can go down and you can get into the Eagle Bay and customize stuff? Like, why not? The vehicles are stored on ships somewhere. I don't see the fast recon vehicle back there. You can have this extend and just there's a lot of options for stuff. If you look at that map, and if we're where that red square is at the back, then there's a lot of ship back there where this could be opened up and things can be added. Like, they pushed back this wall for a reason, and I assumed that stuff would open up off of the sides of it, but there's been nothing. And really, the lack of ship upgrades, like, once you hit max level, there's nothing to do. Like, there's nothing to strive for. You gotta make your own adventure type shit. When I hit 150, I was expecting, something like a gold-plated pistol, or just something to mark the achievement. But I got a tag that said private. That's a Starship Troopers joke, and I get it. But that was it. Like, there was nothing. I was expecting, like, General Brash to have a congratulations, here's my pistol type thing, or here's my primary. Just open up something. Like, there's no end game grind, basically. So for people that have 1,000 hours plus in the game, hell, like 600 hours plus, like, not even. I did grind a lot of my stuff a lot faster than you would normally, so my PC account is a little out of the ordinary, and I get that. But there's still, there should be something, or should have done something for the end game that you could still work on. Hell, why is there a level limit? Why can't you be level 1,000 and just, that's just something for players to grind to. People like to do that.
Found something.
You like unlocking achievements and all of that, but all of, like, the Helldivers achievements and everything can be done and reached before you hit 150. Hell, even hitting 150 wasn't an achievement. So
Found something.
having more end game stuff, more squad based stuff, would also really benefit this game, and is a huge missed opportunity in my opinion. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. And I think after this run, I might do one more supercred farming run. And then I'm going to try to do a stealth illuminate.
Found something.
Really stupid idea. With the C4 pack, I'm going to try and go for a full clear. I'm probably going to fail miserably because I'm really bad at stealth. Like I said, I have no patience for it, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and go for it. No, no. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. There's something here. No. There's something here.
Found something.
Something else here too. Oh, that's where I was. Okay.
Found something.
I'm not going to remember everything I talked about right now, but I'm going to compile a list of stuff, and I'll try to bring this up again in the future and talk about it more, especially if anybody watches this video and actually provides feedback that they would have interest,
Found something.
then I definitely would. Because there were a lot more things that when we were talking about this last night, when we were playing, I can't remember them. And of course I didn't write it down either. Ooh, this is gonna be a challenge. Oops, wrong weapon. Oh, there we go. And it didn't even pop the wheel. Look at that. Loyalist for the win.
Found something.
That's why the loyalist or the purifier is good for bringing on farming missions. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, that's it. 1860? I must have got 100 stack in there somewhere. Wow. Alright. Break this. Lure mines. I will need. I'll bring the marksman rifle. Yes. I don't need the 10x. Alright, here we go. gonna go stealth and eliminate mission.
Choose where to join your fellows in righteous liberation.
And everybody was on. We still have a little bit of resistance. Yeah, I'll go here. Or oh, I gotta. Whoops.
This operation is no longer viable. We must redirect our attention.
Might have to do the retrieve mission.
Initiating FTL jump to the Advara system. FTL jump successful.
I'll try and C4 everything.
Coordinates locked. Hellpods prime.
Okay, I'll do smoke strike. I do need to plan for in case I get screwed, so eats for harvesters. And maybe a machine gun sentry, maybe that'll work. Vitality.
Hellpod launch initiated.
So what I'm going to try to do is put C4 in the bases, carry the craft intel, and then when I drop that off, nuke all the bases. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Return the squids to oblivion.
Sending down equipment package. Sending down support weapon.
Should have maybe brought a Tesla tower with me. That might have been a smart choice. I'm the host, so this isn't gonna work quite as well as if I was just somebody in.
Fire in the hole.
Joining somebody else. Yeah, maybe I should have brought the 10x. Yeah, this goes against like most of my actual style of play. Even the commando missions, is although I did like them, sneaking around, it's just so not my style. This is gonna be interesting. I've seen people do this already, and it looks so cool.
Fire in the hole!
Look at that. It's all this armor. That's incredible. You should have had me dead to rights. I really should shoot down some of these watchers. But I'm not going to unless I absolutely have to. Alright, I'm gonna have to fill up my backpack. And then I guess I'll go. Should I go north or should I go south? Is the question. I have to go north anyway. I'll go south now since I'm closer. It'll be easier to do that now.
Deploying support weapon.
Shit. That's not good. I don't know how the hell he knew where I was. That big patrol really screwed me. I probably could have just used a lure mine.
High life for Super Earth!
It's a bad idea. With that stingray around. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of that stingray before I go in there.
Deploying sentry. Helldiver KIA deploying
What?
request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Reporting to the front.
Okay, where is he? There's one over there. It doesn't really matter if I'm seen or not. I just need to actually just deploy these and get out of here. But I'm still gonna try and do it unseen. But if I get a call out on me, it doesn't really matter.
Fire in the hole.
Is there only the two? No, there should be 4. It's hard to tell if I've got them all. Without blowing them up. I think that's it though. I might be missing. Oh, there's one there. There's one over there, and there's not one there. So maybe there only is 2 when you're solo? Oh, there's one. Definitely don't have one on that. I think I'm missing one here.
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
So I have a feeling I'm gonna end up not getting that completed. But I'm going to assume that I have them all, even though I don't think so. Oh, what?
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
And I saw 3 coming down.
Democracy has landed.
Might be one. I'll do another sweep. There's one there. There's no wires over there. There's one there. Unless I've got it hidden somewhere. Yeah, I've got a C4 brick on that one. No, it can't be around there. This has got to just be it. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that that's done, and if I don't end up getting it, then that's on me for not being more patient. Keep it, and it's, you know, like, still looking around. Man, that stingray. What a pain in the ass.
Reinforcements on the way.
Ready to liberate.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go there to get my C4. Motherfucker.
Have a taste of democracy!
Administering freedom.
Split outpost. I'm out.
Oh my god! Wow, I was ripped off. No, don't mind me. I'm so fucked. Good thing I've got supplies down here.
How about a nice cup of liberty? Mag's empty.
Unleashing democracy.
Get dirty. Blood and dirty. Throwing grenade.
Shit, I might not have hit it. Oh my god, that's so many. Oh no, there's a... Oh boy. Oh boy. Where's my other supply pad? Okay, did I mine that one or not? Sorry, sweetheart, I'm just concentrating on something. Is that a big base or... I'll mine that one anyway. Since I'm not sure. I might as well.
Fire in the hole.
There we go. I think that's all of them.
Eagle 1 leaving combat zone to resupply.
Okay. That's all done. Ah! I'm trying to plant C4 on everything carefully and then blow up everything all at once. So I can't complete anything. I have nothing to kill that with. So it is very startling. This stupid asshole keeps shooting at me. And there's fire tornadoes. This is a disaster. My. Oh boy, he's up. I'm gonna have to deal with some of this now, I think. I just have to find a safe spot to do it.
Sending down support weapon.
Don't you dare. Alright, where is he? Come on. Crap.
Mission at 20 minutes remaining.
Of course he shows up now that the fire tornadoes ran me off of
This is Eagle 1. We're back in business.
my eats, of course.
Sub-objective nearby. Deploying support weapon. Reinforcement
No!
running low. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Got him. Man, I'm right in the fire because I'm an idiot.
Sending down equipment package.
And this guy's following me. Really? Shit.
Deploying sentry.
This is not good. I have nothing to kill that guy with for another minute. And I can't keep C4ing because I don't have my C4 pack on me. And my supplies that I dropped are in there too.
I do like to taste freedom.
All I can do is run away from him. Oh my god.
Deploying support weapon. Delivering payload.
I'm out.
Assets secured.
You know, where's my stuff? There it is. Okay, backpack's full. I've got the drive. Right, I totally forgot I had that dart gun. should be using it.
Main objective near your position.
Wow, really? No one's gonna move? Okay, there we go.
Freedom forever!
Sending down equipment package.
Found something.
Sending down support weapon.
Quit outpost.
It's just one ship, I think so. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay. How am I gonna get around that shit? That I'm not sure.
I'm out.
Doubt I could hit that from here, but I'm gonna try.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
Nope. Alright, where are my closest supplies to me? Don't think I have any. Oh, right, at the objective.
Found something. Throwing grenade.
Okay, that's all done.
Coming in hot. Mission at 10 minutes remaining. Deploying support weapon.
I'm out.
Ah! Leave me alone! Yeah, that guy is making me super nervous. Whenever I could put a C, oh, I'd have to put a couple on him.
Freedom triumphs over tyranny once more. The extraction shuttle awaits your request.
Okay, now here's the thing. I'm gonna go to extraction. And then when I go to get on the Eagle, or Pelican, I'm gonna call that in, and then just watch it all clear and get out of here. Shit, there's no break in the fence there. God damn it.
Eagle 1 returning to destroyer for resupply.
But that's my fault. I didn't have to shoot at those guys. I did it anyway. I really shouldn't have. There was no reason for me to do it. Now, I still feel like I missed one of those boxes at that disruption tower, and I might have missed a drop ship. So this might not complete, but this is my first attempt, and it is a solo attempt. So if it does complete, I'm going to be really, really shocked and happy. And if it doesn't, then I'm just going to try again.
5 minutes left. We can't stay this low much longer, Helldiver.
God, my aim's bad. That was sad.
Extraction is available.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. That was also sad.
Do something.
And instead of the vitality enhancement, what I should have brought was the smoke screen. Because when I called in my eats, I was alerted instantly, and that was a problem 2 or 3 times. And if I had that smoke screen instead, I would have been able to call in my eats and not be noticed, so that would have been a big help. So next time I try this, even if I do get this, I'll probably attempt this on every faction, just because as much as I hate sneaking around like this, it is a lot of fun, and it is a challenge. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
Deploying support weapon.
Why did this get so busy? This is ridiculous. Nothing, 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 and then the fucking world is here now.
Injury? What injury?
I need my detonator. Otherwise, this is not gonna work. I need to break contact with these guys.
Democracy's on its way. Deploying equipment package.
Shit, I don't think I got that. Oaks. considering those guys are firing on me, I definitely did.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
Alright, where did I put my detonator? Might as well just do this.
T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Get some! Get some!
This is getting worse, not better.
Reinforcement budget depleted.
I'm out of lure mines. This really is a disaster.
ETA T-minus 2 minutes. ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 1 minute. ETA T-minus 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Get some! Get some!
This is Pelican 1. I have visual on the extraction zone.
Alright,
Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
here we go. No, get up, get up.
Fire in the hole!
No, I need to detonate.
Initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Fuck yeah, I got it all!
Extraction complete.
Woo! Haha!
Another victory.
Alright,
Right side.
and that's gonna conclude today. Fuck yeah, gonna go out on this huge win. That was an accomplishment. That should have been an achievement. Oh well. Okay, well, I don't know if anybody's still watching, but if you are, thanks. I'll be on maybe the next day I'm feeling okay. Maybe tomorrow, hopefully. But if you like my stream, I do put up previous streams on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/adisabledhuman. There's a lot of stuff up there for you to check out. Not just Helldivers stuff. Many different games. I hope you do. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. I hope to see you back when I'm on next.